This is Basil Green speaking, your speaker for today on the Breadbasket Show. Welcome to yet another episode to this podcast called the Breadbasket Show. And the topic for today is called, Is there a place for morality in the workplace? Is there a place for morality in the workplace? And this episode is from a conversation I had with my management at the place I am employed. So I work as a call center agent. I talk about this in my upcoming book that after starting out in 2007 and taking a couple of detours and ups and downs, which I talk about in book 2 of the Productivity Quest series, or the Ultimate Productivity Quest series, to be correct. The name of the book is called I Am Not Trying to Be First. Now I see myself back in the same position. And I'm doing the job of a call center agent. So there was a particular incident that took place at work where a customer asked me a few questions. Well, one question they asked me after I was selling a product to them. And when my team leader managed to listen to the call, I was taken for coaching. Or in fact, I was told to rectify the matter. And I was told that I had made a mistake. I wasn't supposed to say this particular thing to the customer because it is not as I had said. So I work where I phone customers. I tell them that I am calling because your monthly debit order for your value-added services was unsuccessful. And I informed them that this is just a quick call to get it set up again for them so that they can retain their fantastic services, be it the value-added services they had taken out previously. So I get into a conversation with this customer and I start to explain to him. Okay, he asked me, which value-added services or which products? And I start to explain to him the value-added services I see on the system. And I was under the impression, because we were told to sell a cheaper one than we normally. At first we were pitching 2 value-added services. One was for 149 Rand per month and the other 99 Rand per month. So we had to pitch these 2 value-added services to our customers. In total, the customer would have to pay 248 Rand in order for them to continue taking advantage of them. So this customer, I told him that the value added service that I'm going to be retaining for you is A, B, and C. So it was one value added service for 99 Rand per month. So as we get into our sales conversation, he asked me, okay, you're saying I'm going to receive this value added service today. What's going to happen to the two that you spoke about on the system? So I told him, no, those will not fall away. And I continue speaking, and I remember also telling him that he's only going to pay for this one at 99 Rand per month. So I thought, hey, this customer's going to be making a saving. So, hey, my team leader tells me, no, you weren't supposed to say that to the person because that value added service is getting added to the two. Because one of the debit orders for those value added services was unsuccessful. Now we cannot tell which one was unsuccessful. We just tell the customers that the value added service was unsuccessful. So I ask her, hey, do the customers know that as we are telling them, we are retaining, that we are actually giving them an additional value added service? And she said, no, they don't know. So I said, they're going to get a surprise on their bank statements when they check, okay, they were paying for 2, now they got 3. And she says, yes. And I ask her, okay, if I make a duplicate sale, the customers now have to pay for 2. She said, yes, the customers are going to have to pay for 2 of the same thing. So I told her, hey, I don't feel this is right because the people need to know that they're going to be spending an additional 99 Rand or whatever amount. So she tells me, just do what you're being told because that's the script. I said, no, it's just not that simple for me. And after she tells me all of this, I told her, I'm not satisfied with your answer. I went and speak to the campaign manager, and he tells me the very same thing. But he says some customers, only those that don't pay their value added services, no. Maybe if they don't pay one, they know. So I also asked them, okay, the ones that are already paying, we're telling them we're updating the system, but we're actually adding a new value added service to them. I'm thinking, whoa, wait a minute. I was not told this in training. I was just told if a customer has a specific value added service, don't sell it to them. But we were not given the reason why. So, hey, he doesn't answer. And I told my team leader to retain something is actually to give somebody something they previously had. If we're telling somebody we are retaining this here for you, we are not giving you something new. We are giving you something that you already had. So it's like we are adding to what's already there. So I wasn't satisfied with my campaign managers. answer. I go to the call center manager and I explain to her that, you know what, this is a story. I already spoke to my team leader and my campaign manager, and during break I bumped into the train and I asked her, what is the story here? Why don't you tell us that we are adding to existing customers as value-added services? I once going to her, I bumped into her. I never went to her. And her answer never satisfied me. So after the break, I waited until about 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon. And I spoke to the call center manager and I expressed my dissatisfaction. And she turns around and says, this is a morality issue. And this is something only you can rectify and you can change. You have to change your mindset. So she calls our call center manager and the campaign manager, and speaks to him. And she says, you should have followed the right protocol instead of just coming to me or going to the train. I said, I did follow the right protocol. I spoke to my team leader. I spoke to my campaign manager, and then I'm speaking to you. But the trainer, I just bumped into her and I asked her the question. It's not like I was going to her. So I went to her as the last resort. And she told me it's not a training issue, it's something that happens on the floor. So I said, okay, I am not happy even with your answer, but I'm going to go. Well, when she called the campaign manager, he says, you just do what you're being told. Go and execute the assignment you're being given here at work. So I told him it's not that easy for me to just do what you're telling me to do, because this is something that is not fair. Because I'm telling you my reason now. I feel like I'm going into an honest day's living when I'm not being honest to my customers. And I don't know these people's financial situations. I don't know what they're dealing with for me to add another 99 rand or the 248 rand that we were adding. And I explained to her that I foresee problems because it could come back to bite us. And I'm still grappling with this issue. Should I stay? Should I resign or go and look for another job? I actually have been for other interviews. And because I'm also desperate, I need a job. I've got plans for my business, I've got plans for my studies, and I've got bills to pay. Yet, the money I'm making is not enough also. So, is there a place for morality in the workplace? And I'm going to share a little bit more about my experience in the call centers, which I shared in my last book, I'm Not Trying to Be First, book 2 of the Ultimate Productivity Quest series, because I'm seeing a similar trend taking place in this call center and in other call center I've worked in, and my conversations that I've had with other people. So be on the lookout for more podcasts